Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. I hope you are doing well. Smash me a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and of course, hit that notification bell. Big up to the Seattle Seahawks, Ryan hooking me up all the way from the States. What a ledge. This is my NFL team now. After all the hate for the Niners, he was like, yo, you need to be a Seahawk. So hooked me up with this. Hope you're all doing well. Smash me a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and of course, hit that notification bell. Only Leeds bros. Hope you're feeling better, Joe. Nothing worse than the flu. Okay, mate, I've just woke up from a nap because I needed a rest. I took my dog out to the beach and I could only cope with half of it, as mad as that sounds, but I'm rough. I can't lie to you. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. Yeah, so another 3 points. Yes, please. Banana skin game tomorrow. Nah, not a banana skin. What's this? 4 away games. What's this? Do you mean in terms of their record? Not great away from home. Smash a like and subscribe. Big up to Sean Healy. Joe, congratulations on reaching 32k. Big up. The kind of press conference were like, nothing major to report. Yeah, exactly. There isn't. No 49ers jersey. No Seahawks, man. Joe, I'm just getting over my cold and flu. Yeah, it's been rough, hasn't it? And Farker mentioned it about injuries and stuff, actually, saying like normally we've got people, going through things, injuries and stuff like that. So, yeah, I seen that, and I was going to ask that question as well. I don't give a schmidt. When he said that at the end, I thought, is he a legend? All about that square ball playing there, because I've just been listening to the presser. But before we go any further, folks, big up to Lockie for bringing this to my attention as well. A lot of you will be aware of Laura Jane Davies, who is a regular commenter on this channel and a footballer who previously played at Swansea City. She hasn't asked for this, but Lockie brought it to my attention, as did Andrea, so big up to them all. But she's actually suffered a torn meniscus in her right knee. So she did this during her first pre-season session, and scans have now revealed the extent of her injuries. So she's going to have to undergo surgery. Now, of course, she has set up a GoFundMe page because, as you'll all be aware, there's nowhere near as much funding in the women's game, and definitely not at the club that she currently plays for, which is Worcester City. So she has set up a GoFundMe, and she has some comments on it there. I'm devastated to have picked up this injury and potentially not play a part in the pitch during the 24-25 campaign. So she's looking to go through surgery because of that. And I know, this community, yeah, it is Marcus, it is Laura D that comes on here. So she has set up a GoFundMe, and it's just under £1,000 raised currently. I am going to put it in the in the comments for people as well, and just share it with you here as well. So if we could help contribute in any kind of way, then that would be amazing. As I say, she regularly contributes to this channel and is a regular and part of the community. So yeah, if we can support Laura in any kind of way to help her get that meniscus repair surgery and get her back on the pitch, that would be absolutely amazing. So please do support her by that link. Big up to Laura. I hope you get well soon. Big up to Lockie and Andrea for bringing that to the eyeballs and getting it out there. So she hadn't asked for that. If she is watching, you are a legend, Laura. Thanks for supporting the channel, and get well soon, for sure. Right, okay, let's get stuck straight into the presser. I do have my little man's parents' evening, not too distant future. So we need to get on it. Joe, the Seattle... Yeah, man. I know, right? It's an extra large. Like, you got me extra. It's quite big, but it's looking fire. I can't lie to you. So, yeah. Down with the Niners, up with the Seahawks. Let's get straight into it, though. Team news, no bigger concerns. No one picked up an injury during the game. Nothing that should disturb us. We have our long-term ones, but all the others are available, which is great news, right? It's huge news, especially I think it was Matty that mentioned yesterday, maybe Rothwell holding his hamstring, and then obviously we had the non-tour situation with the shoulder. He did touch on the non-tour stuff and said, you know, how close was non-tour was going off. He was asked the question because if you remember, he kept holding his shoulder. He said very close. I was a bit nervous after the game, but we scanned it, and thankfully it's just a bruise, so he is available. So that's good news that non-tour shoulder isn't an issue, because I genuinely, in the back of my mind, were thinking, oh, God, please. So, yeah, big up to the chat as well. Donna, as always. Yeah, make sure you check out. I think I was speaking to Matty earlier. They had some great numbers on the last pint yesterday, so make sure you go and subscribe to Only Leeds Bros and Matty as well. Imagine not being Leeds. We'll get Only Leeds Bros on the channel soon enough as well. He was asked about more about the tactics than, you know, adapting to what Watford are going to bring, and asked about his tactical setup. I've not done my Watford preview yet, but having done a bit of research, damn, they're shite away from home. Damn, they're conceding a lot of goals away from home. I think, if I just quickly check my notes, not to spoil it, they've conceded 13 times in 5 away matches, scoring just twice in that period. So Leeds better be in a cooking session, because they're just not great away from home. But yeah, back to what Farke said. He says, we're going to always try to be ourselves on the pitch and to be the protagonist on the pitch, but it's important to be ready for other scenarios, how we want to attack. The opponent often closes the centre, so we prepare to go out for the wings. Perhaps they close our fullbacks down, and then we look for solutions down the centre or with a chip ball into space. We have to remain flexible. Now, what I will say, for me, Barker is showing a lot more tactical flexibility with this team this season, and I think a lot of that is due to balance, a lot of that is due to personnel. This is more a team in his image, and we're seeing that. We're seeing that. Off the ball, on the ball, I think we're seeing a lot more. He is not tactically inept as much as so many people would have had you believe. He said, though, I'm not a friend of changing too much to show the outside how fluent we are. When you change the formation, our approach, it should only be to help, not just for show. Again, you know, we're not just going to, let's just play 3 at the back because we can. Let's not just do this. It's very much, if the situation, if the game state needs it, then I'll do it. But he says quite often you only know after the game if it was the right way to go. You take decisions before the game, but we do always try to be ourselves. We can say, for argument's sake, in response to that, Sheffield United got it massively wrong, didn't they, on Friday? Just on my lemsip. Yeah, someone mentioned about hot water, lemon, ginger. I was like, listen, I was dragged up, not brought up. I'm not fucking buying ginger in that front shop and lemon and squeezing it into a thing. Just give me some lemsip. Rothwell and Tanaka then asked about the changes that they've given. Oh, there's been some takes online. I pressed Connor on it earlier, and he tended to agree with me, but I know there's been some takes online as well that, like, Gruev and Ampadu were going to ride bench, and, you know, Gruev's done and all this sort of stuff, and you're just going, calm down, yeah? And that's coming from me, the guy who's never calm. But yeah, it says we cannot make different players out of them. They are tidy on the ball. They are creative. They break lines with passes. That is what they do. So therefore, again, Farke has switched it up tactically, yeah, to get the best out of them. You know, we've seen that. We have changed since they've come into the side. And it's not just because it's them. The manager has also done that, right? He said, Joe did this on Friday, driving the ball forward from deeper, which is something I picked out on. Like to play players in their best positions with their best strengths. Again, this is on the manager. Big up to you, Vic. Enjoy your work, bro. If you play in the centre, you need fitness capable of covering the ground and doing the defensive work. And that's something that I was concerned about. However, no more concerns. They both are apt at going forward and can do the work defensively. He says, when the opponent wins the ball, you have to get back quickly enough. Joe had 2 seasons of rarely playing 90 minutes. He needs more match rhythm. And if we're getting already like 50% of Rothwell, if we're getting 100%, then we are going to see the player that got the move to the Premier League that was at Blackburn, right? So long may that continue. He says, "How's first steps here as well?" I've had a couple of t-shirts sent actually all the way from Australia. Big up to Brett that I'm going to share with you tomorrow as well. And there's an Our Tanaka one on there, and it's a thing of beauty. Can't lie to you. And a Joel Pirro one, but I'll show you them tomorrow. Anne's wardrobe's getting decked out at the minute. It's crazy. Had to work on their awareness off the ball. So that's something that they're doing in training. And let's be honest, we haven't seen the best of them yet because we haven't barely had an opportunity to train them on the pitch, have we? Do you know what I mean? Because he's talking about there, we've worked with their awareness off the ball. They've barely been here since they've started because they've been international breaks. Boom. Their distance is perfect against the ball. Connor made a point earlier on. It's like they're on a string. You go, I go, you go, I go. But in possession, if someone gets wider, they need to position themselves accordingly. So they're going to improve, I guess, is what Farke's saying, by minutes on the training pitch. He says it does differ when you play different tactics against teams who go for second balls. Experienced players need time to adapt, always constantly working every week, speaking about something each week on improving. Boom. Love it. Tanaka and Rothwell, it's only the start. He was asked then about, 1 second, let me just have a drink, about watering the pitch. I think Popey asked him, we're not privy to this, but they extensively watered the pitch more so than normal, according to what Popey said. And he said, we take care of each and every percent, and it's important not to overlook things. A wet pitch always helps. It's important also that the ball boys are not sleepy. It's important to have the speed high. It's important that the surface is perfect. I'm not a greenkeeper, but they know my wish. We need to look under each and every stone, to make sure we get the increment gains that we need. So, yeah. He was asked then about the free agent because obviously we had pictures of Gulavogi last week on Friday. He was going to be their free agent. We still don't know if that's 100% the case. And the reason I say that is because he's mentioned about people getting invited into Thorpe Arch. Well, according to Gulavogi's Instagram, he'd been in Dubai like days before. So it's not as if he trained. Maybe he'd come on the Friday to train, as opposed to he trained and he's going to sign. Do you know what I mean? So we'll have to wait and see. But he did say it's a bit closer. It's a bit closer, and we'll know the latest by the end of next week, and we'll have a decision made. But it can happen quick. Let's see. Then Berham asked him later on if they'd been taking a part in training, and he said he made a joke. It was quite funny, actually. He said, yeah, Lucas Radebe was around. I wanted him to bring his boots, but he was more in the canteen. But I don't speak too much about what happens behind closed doors, or I don't lift the curtain. Yes, there are a few people around, but we stick to the rules and be professional, and let's see what happens. He mentioned about, how them competing for places and stuff like that. He'd read a few things. That's something that I mentioned. Imagine they're all coming in at the same time competing. I'm like, are you watching, Daniel? Hey, are you watching, Daniel? What? If you are, you're a ledge. So I don't know about the Gulavogi, but it sounds like he probably could be the closest if he expects it to happen quick. Doesn't sound like it's going to be Kuyate. I don't know if the Coquelin was genuine as what we all thought. We just don't know, do we? I just don't know. BK says there's zero chance a free agent comes in. I don't think there's zero chance, bro. I think that's crazy. Big up, David. I've got some of this, bro, for my nose. It works, actually. Yeah, it's mad. Anyway, Watford struggled away. Why? Tell me why. Go on, Andy. He said, I don't know, because it's the same game and it's the same rules. But of course, you do feel more comfortable at home. And it is always easier if you don't have to travel. And the second topic is always the supporters. Sometimes young players can struggle a bit when the whole stadium is against you. I wouldn't say this is the case in Watford's case because they have an unbelievably experienced squad. We've spoken about them before. Ogbonna, Sissoko, many others, Bachmann in goal. But he said it's more or less the sum of all these reasons, but actually we try whether we play to have the same game on the pitch if we're at home or away. I think in Watford's case, it's a coincidence because I'm sure they will win games on the road, but hopefully not Tuesday. I don't think it is that much of a coincidence. I think it has to be tactically. Surely. There has to be something. Because had we have gone to Bramall Lane, Wilder sets up differently at home against Leeds at Ellen Road. So maybe it is a case of Cleverly's just going with the same. So I don't know, to say we go with the same, like Farkas chatting beans there. I think it's just because look at how we operated at West Brom. I know that was a different time and we were stemming the bleeding, but it was different how we're playing now because he just wanted a clean sheet and to get away with the point because we got beat there last season. So yeah, it's got to be tactically, There's no coincidence that you've conceded 13 goals in 5 games and only scored 2 away from home, but 1 at home. There's something in that. It's not just coincidence for me. But hey ho, I'm not a manager. I don't know. On resisting changes, I think Bielsa's knee just mentioned there about potentially making changes. I think Lockie made a great point yesterday about it being probably too early, and Farkas spoke about it, this time last season about maybe I'll wait till the back end of the year. But I think he was reticent to make changes last season because he didn't really trust the full squad, whereas this one he does. Big up to Kieran. Yeah, we've got Bristol City away on Saturday, mate. Can't remember last time Bristol City beat us, to be honest. So I'm expecting more of the same, Kieran. Big up for the love, though, as always. You always have good memories of Bristol City under Bielsa. Just because I remember the second season back and Pablo scored that wonder strike, but it was the first time I seen Ben White. And he turned the guy up front, the African guy who used to play up front for you. He's running onto him and he just turned him and I went, oh my days, who is this centre-back? And then he just sprayed it out to, I think it was Clicker. And I was like, oh, I forgot the guy's name. But yeah, I always have good memories of Bristol City under Bielsa because we always beat you and beat you quite well. Anyway, on resisting changes, he said, yes, and it could be that once you are playing too long, you could think it could bring new energy, but I think the turnaround is okay. Jeju, that was it. Jeju, big up Perry Cox. He thinks the turnaround's okay. We're still all right. Early parts of the season. He said, we've had 4 proper nights at home and 3 days, and there will be something wrong if not. Of course, you want to please the whole squad, but we want to win points. And sometimes if you rotate too much, it could also be that you please no one, i.e. we don't get a result. So I think we'll see more of the same. I don't think we'll make any changes. So I don't think we'll see any changes. How much do you factor Ellen Road into your plans? He said we need our support. Is one of the club's biggest assets. What I will say, the atmosphere on Friday sounded by far and away the best. And who am I to speak on that while I'm sat at home and not going to games? But I just hope we can maintain something of that. I know it's different. It's Friday night. It's under the lights. It's a Yorkshire derby. But I do feel that when the fixtures turn, there'll be a certain level of expectancy from the fans, rightly so. But it can affect atmosphere while we wait for the goal to go in. And it is hard. It is hard, trust me. But hopefully it can stay somewhere close to that level. But he said Watford are on their best levels at the moment. I'm grateful the supporters spend their time and money like this to support us. They need to show up in a proper way tomorrow night. Friday night, it was easier to be excited, as I've just said. But tomorrow will be harder. We need them. And this is something we have to have in the back of our minds. He said, when we have our best spell or difficult spell, we need them for us. You can be successful when you have unity in this club. We have to make sure we're not overexcited in these situations. We have an unbelievable crowd and it feels like the stadium is exploding. We cannot then overdo it with the riskiest pass. I think players, when you get to a certain experience, can't take that into consideration. Or a lot of the time, it's just background noise. But some young players maybe, or wanting to show, a little bit too much can maybe be a little bit risque because of the crowd. I said we have to avoid a basketball game, hold the pressure high with the pace of the pass and pace of the ball, but the atmosphere impacts the opponents. Our fans can overdo it and go crazy, but we need to stay cool when it's needed. I calm my young players down if they need it. So he said fans can overdo it, fans can go crazy, but we need to stay cool in those moments for sure, which is a far cry from the previous guy, Jesse, if you remember. You know? Do you remember? They're scared, man. Crazy. Asked about Rothwell and set pieces and what he brings to Leeds, and he said, not every delivery was perfect, which it wasn't, but he does have variation in it, in my opinion. But he said, we know he's an asset with this, and hopefully that will improve, folks. If we get more chances, or get more goals from that, it will just massively, help us. Yeah, Sean hated when he said it sounds passive to me. I don't know what you're on about, Sean, but you said earlier on that which blew my mind. You said Ampadu's not good this season. The captaincy's too big for him and he shouldn't come back into the side. I didn't want to engage with it at the time because we were on someone else's channel, but that is just fucking mental, bro. Where are you coming from and why are you making crazy statements? Yeah, so on Joe Rothwell, again, that's what I'm saying. For everyone that calls me flip-flop, for everyone that calls me bipod, whatever, that is crazy. Genuinely, Sean, that is crazy. You've seen Joe Rothwell for 3 games, and you're saying that the captain, who's arguably been our best player for 2 seasons, can't get back in, and the captaincy's too big for him. It's just crazy. It's crazy, man. But you need that sometimes, Sean. You need that. That was it. You said he slows it down too much and he's not good or whatever. And it's like, you need that though. Controlling the controllables. He mentioned about Joe Rothwell, his set pieces, they can improve. Hopefully, can he be involved more so around the box, arriving late, Lampard-esque. Sorry to make that comparison. And chipping with goals, which we saw him do at Blackburn, which he did a couple of times at Southampton. He said there were some mistakes in his passing and against the ball, so there is always space for improvement. He proves his worth at the moment. He is a joy to watch. He can make your game more fluent than perhaps any other player in that position. So that's really good. He was asked about Watford being a playoff contender. He said, definitely. They're used to playing in the Premier League. I don't think they are. I think they'll massively drop off. But again, this is the thing. Like a couple of weeks back, people that were saying that they're going to be up there because they won a few games, a bit like Preston. Now, of course, Sunderland are up there longer than I expected, but I still don't think they'll be top 2 come the end, folks. Just 2 minutes. Sorry, I just had to mute it. No one needs to hear that shit. I don't think, I'm not going to go into much. He said, they've got a good blend of young talents, mentioned the experienced talent with Bonner and Sissoko, mentioned the physical side, but I don't see it. I don't see it, to be honest. Thanks for someone backing me up. Oh, mate, you said in Pirro will be good. That's it. Yeah, you get it. A broken clock's right twice a day. You know what I mean? Who's sticking up for you? Who's sticking up? Anyway, he was then asked about Pat. I bet that went down well in the YouTube comments about Pat Bamford. He said, what's his role? What's his role? Sean knows I love him. Yeah, of course I do. I love him. I do love him. He was coming for me hard, though, on the... pause. He was coming for me, though, on the... on Connor's not debrief, sorry, on thing, just making crazy claims, and then he said that about Ampadu, and I was like, right, I'm gonna have to get you for that at some point. So he was asked about Patrick. He said Patrick's been struggling in the last few months with some injuries and physical conditions, but no one has to worry about his mentality. He's a top-class player, and I am 100% sure that a fully fit Patrick Bamford, we would already be in the Premier League by now because we missed him. Interesting. He said it is no coincidence that we had our best points average when he was in the side. And don't forget that when people tell you, people forget that he was pivotal to our turning form once the turn of the year. But he said it's no coincidence that we had our best points average when he was in the side. You also have to adapt to reality and say that both Mateo Joseph and Joel Pirro have used their chances, which they have. He says, although Patrick is back now in terms of being fit, he has to wait for a situation, which hopefully won't come. Sorry to say, let's hope it doesn't come, because that means Pirro and Joseph are having stinkers or are injured. He said, I wouldn't be happy if Patrick was happy with that situation, but that's just the reality. And if other players are delivering, then I have to take this into account. I know, Joe. He said, my appreciation for Patrick and how important he is will never go away. He is a crucial player. He is already a Leeds legend. I don't know if I would call him that. But we also have to take into account the reality. But I'm sure he will be important for us this season. He will have an impact. And no one has to be concerned about his mental state. He is much too smart to be struggling in that area. That is a question. Is Bamford a legend? I don't think he is he? Not even in that Bielsa side. There are players within that Bielsa side that I was classed as legends. But not Pat. Pat's not one of them, unfortunately, regardless of the 17 goals in the Premier League and all that sort of stuff. He's not one of them. I look at your Bills, I look at your Liam Coopers, I look at Calvin's. During that period, I look at Mateus Click. Pat just doesn't fall into that bracket. For me, unfortunately, and I was a fan of his, but yeah, I don't think that. Yeah, so I think that's... but anyway, it doesn't matter, does it? It's only a throwaway comment. He'll be a nice footnote in the annals of Leeds United's history. But that's about as far as it goes, really. But yeah, make sure you help Laura D out as well. Make sure you go and do the check out the GoFundMe for Laura and help her out where and if we can, folks. Yeah. Best keeper in the league. Well, I don't think that's that wild because I said it. I said it once upon a time. Funny, man. Funny. I've got to shoot now, but I'll do a preview which I'll drop in the morning. That'll be it from me. I'm hoping like another I'll film that and then that'll come out in the morning and then I'll see you for the watch along. Oh no, I'm on debrief at 6. But I'm going to use that time to have a nice rest. I did have an hour before I came on here, but I'll tell you what, before I go, I'm going to show you these T-shirts. I'll get the link and that, but these T-shirts are fire, by the way. Brett's a massive Leeds fan who lives in Australia, but he's originally from Leeds, and he's a graphic designer. He's made some boss T-shirts. Give me 2 seconds. Back. Who's this one? Look. This one. Our Tanaka, which is really cool, I think. And they're really good quality as well, by the way. And this is quality as well. Call 1300 Joel Pirro. Guaranteed goals, guaranteed pleasure. They're really cool. There's some awesome ones. You know, like the Ramones T-shirt, but he's done like one with Tanaka and stuff on. I will get sorry, my breathing just going down the stairs, man. I will get the link and that for it tomorrow. I'm going to wear one of them on the watch along, just as a thank you for sending me the shirts. But yeah, they're class, man. That's a beauty. I'll have to wear that tomorrow, won't I? Yo, Pirro. But Japanese Modric on it will sell like hotcakes. This is what I'm saying, Kevin. I know. Yeah. Hey. Oh, let's go. Yeah, they're really cool. But yeah, I'm going to shoot now because I've got my little man's parents' evening and all that jazz. And then I'm going to film my preview and then probably rest up. But legends, thank you for supporting the channel. As always, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you all tomorrow for the watch along way. Hopefully Leeds win again, and I think the way the fixtures are placed, Leeds United could go in top. Is that right? Let me just have a look. I might be wrong there, actually. Bloody hell, man. Let's have a look. Standings. So 19, 20, 21, 22. Yeah, we could go top. Yeah, we could go top because Sunderland and Burnley don't play. Let's have a look. Yeah. So if we win tomorrow, we'll be top. I think people are saying no. That will put us on 22. 19 minus 8 is what? 19 minus 8 is what? 11. Our goal difference is 10. We just, 2 clear goals. Yeah, 2-0. 2-0. Yeah, 2-0. I'm predicting 3-0 anyway, just a spoiler alert. I think so. If we win and win well, we'll be top, front and centre. Someone said it. But no one's coming on and griefing me anymore because they ain't got their agenda anymore. But yeah, right. Listen, I'm going to dip now. Thanks always for watching. I'll see you in a bit. You love you all. I love you all. I'm very poorly. I need someone to rub me back, man. Do you know what I miss most, though? Because I don't have a bath. I've only got a shower. Genuinely, I would just get like a massive dollop of Vicks and just throw it in hot water, man, and then just walk into the bathroom and it just smells like eucalyptus. And then just lay in it like that. Like Thierry Henry's shirt. You know, when the Arsenal players used to put it all on the shirt. Ooh. Anyway, I'm out. Up the Seattle Seahawks. Peace.